The story of Google goes like this. They went to the dorm advisor when they were back at Stanford and said, we'd like to download the entire content of the internet on our dorm room computers. The faculty said, are you crazy? You're not doing that here. So they were told to pack their stuff, and they went off and got a little condo in Palo Alto, and that's where they set up their famous garage and started downloading the internet and developing their PageRank algorithm. Very creative. So they created this little device that scans all the internet and page ranks all the different pages on the internet, and that's how they started doing their thing. One day they said, okay, we're going to take this idea and make it big, and they flew to Europe and put in a contract with AOL. You remember AOL in those days, as well as Alta Vista. They were the big companies in the internet, early days of the internet, and we all used to receive those little AOL packages in the mail. Remember those little discs? You had to pop them in, and you had to pay $5 or $10 a month to be an AOL member. Some of you may remember that. Some of you may not. That was the name of the game back then in the early days of the internet was content, and they used to call that a walled garden, AOL. So you could only get inside the walled garden if you paid your $10 or $20 a month, and you had your AOL password, and that's how you access content. Well, Sergey and Larry said, that's not the future. The future is going to be more in how we search the internet than in providing content that people will pay for. And I think they've been proven right. So they fly to Europe and make this pitch to AOL. And on their way back from Europe, they get a call, or I guess they had a private plane, so they get a call saying, guess what, you lost the deal. AOL just publicly announced that they're giving their internet search engine deal to Alta Vista. So what do? They turn their plane around, and they go back to London, and they call AOL, and they say, you're making a huge mistake. Come meet with us. This is what you need. You need to reverse your decision, and we're the right company for you guys. And they managed to convince AOL that they've made the wrong decision, and that became their big deal, and they became the internet search engine behind AOL's content, and then became even larger, of course, than AOL. But that's how they got their early start and became really big. So they diverted their plane. They had an IPO, and they completely changed the rules of the game for an IPO. They were told that they needed to go with $125 a share. They said, no, we want this to be $85 a share. They cut their investment banking fees by half, and they completely changed the rules of the game. And so they like to take bold action. So it makes you think about things, and you don't have to do what even the investment bankers tell you have to do. You can go against their advice.